Hello and welcome. So, some big news in the NFL today. It appears that Bill Belichick, Mac Jones, the feud is just continuing to fester, it's continuing to grow, and Bill Belichick is apparently shopping his quarterback around the league. Now, a lot of the rumors circulating say that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in some capacity involved, just meaning at least that the fact that Bill Belichick has reached out and called Jason Light to say, hey, I got this guy named Mac, did you want to grab him? It's an interesting dichotomy there in this situation, because if the Buccaneers hadn't signed Baker Mayfield just recently in this offseason, I would think going to get Mac Jones and giving up a draft pick might be a great idea. Have Mac Jones and Kyle Trask compete, winner take all, starts for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next year. We kind of could wash away Mac Jones' last season as, well, he had Matt Patricia calling his plays. Mac Jones is an offensive player. So yeah, I could see where we could wash that away and we could say maybe Mac Jones coming to Tampa is not such a terrible idea. He was solid with a competent coach in his first season in the National Football League as a rookie. And then in his second season in the National Football League, he had a not so competent coach and looked not so competent. So that logic stands to reason that if we get him at least admirable coaching, he's going to put a semi-decent product on the field. Don't forget, Mac Jones took his team to the playoffs. Now, sure, they did not play too well in that game, but they were there. And as a rookie quarterback, getting your team into the postseason, that's no easy feat, right? That's nothing to just gloss over and ignore. The problem is Baker Mayfield being on the roster would then mean that the quarterback competition becomes a three-way competition, and the fact that you would then be having to give up compensation for one of the three candidates puts that candidate unfairly ahead of the others in the competition, because you want to see the guy that you gave up something to get play. Whereas Baker Mayfield was free, and Kyle Trask, you gave up something technically because you did draft it, but that was years ago, so that's no worries. And it puts you in a situation where then you have three guys competing for one spot. Two of them are proven, one of them is unproven. The two that are proven would have been first-round picks that the original team threw away. And both of them, interestingly enough, in Baker and Mac, one playoff season, Baker actually went further in the playoffs than Mac Jones did, and you kind of look at it and you say, well, I can't definitively say, I cannot sit here and tell you that Mac Jones is better than Baker Mayfield. I also can't sit here and tell you that Baker Mayfield is better than Mac Jones. I actually think, even though they're different players, I think that they are kind of on a similar plane. They've accomplished very similar things in the league, and they're kind of in a similar spot, or just Baker's a little further ahead. Mac Jones is a little further behind, but he's on course to be in a similar spot as Baker. So I don't know that it's worth it for the Bucs to make a move, though. The interesting thing is, if Baker Mayfield wasn't a free agent or just happened to go somewhere else and wasn't on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster, I would absolutely say the Buccaneers should step forth and put in some sort of an offer. Whether or not it gets accepted, that's a whole different story. But a mid-round pick or potentially two late-round picks for a guy like Mac Jones, who is 2 years away, 2 years removed from being a first-round pick, and took his team to the playoffs as a rookie, had a solid rookie campaign. You know, one bad season does not break a career. And I hate the fact that I feel like modern NFL is just so ready to give up on somebody so quickly. I'm not into that. I do think Mac Jones has potential to be a solid starting NFL quarterback, and I do think if Baker Mayfield wasn't in Tampa, it might actually be a nice fit. But Baker Mayfield is in Tampa, so I don't see the Buccaneers giving up any sort of compensation for Mac Jones, especially when they've potentially already got a guy who can fill the same spot as Mac Jones, meaning he's the veteran or the experienced guy who would come in and compete with the inexperienced guy in Kyle Trask. Subscribe, leave a like. What do you think? Mac Jones to Tampa? Yay, nay, maybe? Let me know.